Welcome to Evolution by Natural Selection. Here, you will learn what evolution is and discover its primary driving force. We will begin this story from the perspective of Charles Darwin, the pioneer who developed the theory of evolution by natural selection. As we progress, we will explore his observations, inferences, and key ideas that became the foundation of his groundbreaking theory. In 1831, Charles Darwin set off on a 5-year voyage around the world aboard the HMS Beagle. During his travels, he collected specimens of South American plants and animals and observed the adaptations of species in various environments. Darwin observed finches on the Galapagos Islands, each with different beak shapes suited to different types of food. Birds with slender, pointed beaks were found in areas where small insects were the primary food source. Birds with long, narrow beaks fed on the nectar of cactus plants. Those with large, strong beaks were better suited for cracking seeds. These observations helped Darwin understand how species adapt to their environment. Besides observing the Galapagos finches, Darwin made numerous observations of diverse plants, animals, and insects, which he condensed into his 4 key observations. From these observations, he derived key inferences that helped him develop the foundational ideas of his groundbreaking theory, evolution by natural selection. So let's start with Darwin's observations. Darwin observed that members of a population of any species exhibit differences in their traits. Traits are passed from parents to offspring. Species produce more offspring than the environment can support. Many of these offspring do not survive due to competition for limited resources. Darwin's first inference: individuals with inherited traits that enhance their chances of survival and reproduction tend to leave more offspring than others without such traits. Darwin's second inference: this unequal ability to survive and reproduce leads to the accumulation of advantageous traits in the population over successive generations. Let's understand Darwin's inferences with an example. In a cold environment, animals with thicker fur are better insulated and more likely to survive harsh temperatures. Over time, as these animals reproduce, the population will have more individuals with thicker fur as they pass on this advantageous trait to their offspring. Another example: in a drought, plants with deeper roots are better able to access water. Over time, more plants with deep roots will populate the area. These inferences formed the foundation for 2 key ideas. 1. Evolution explains the unity and diversity of life. And 2. Natural selection is the driving force behind adaptive evolution. Darwin's inferences and key ideas led him to propose his theory of evolution by natural selection, which he published in The Origin of Species in 1859. He noticed that species shared similarities and variations worldwide, which led him to believe they evolved from common ancestors. Darwin also saw adaptation to the environment and the origin of new species as closely related processes. Now let's define and further explore evolution and its primary driving force, natural selection. So, how do we define evolution? Evolution is the process of change that has transformed life on Earth, leading to the development of more complex life forms from simpler ones. In simple terms, evolution is descent with modification, a process driven by natural selection. Natural selection is the driving force behind evolution and can be defined as nature's way of favoring individuals best adapted to their environment, allowing them to survive and pass on their traits. But who are the best adapted organisms? In evolutionary terms, adapted organisms are those that survive and reproduce more offspring than others, ensuring the persistence of their advantageous traits in future generations. Let's understand natural selection with an example. Imagine a population of rabbits in a snowy landscape with diverse fur colors. Among them, white-furred rabbits blend into the snow, making it harder for predators to spot them. As a result, they are more likely to survive and reproduce, passing on their advantageous traits to future generations. Over time, the white-furred trait becomes more common, especially in regions with prolonged snow cover. As these traits are inherited and propagated, the population gradually shifts, with white-furred rabbits beginning to dominate the gene pool. To summarize, individuals with traits that better suit their environment tend to produce more offspring. Over time, This results in the accumulation of advantageous traits in the population. To further understand natural selection, let's explore artificial selection, a process in which humans intentionally select and breed individuals with desirable traits in a species. We will learn how artificial selection accelerates changes in traits across generations, providing a clear example of how selection can shape a population over time. For example, over centuries, humans have bred dogs for specific traits like size, strength, coat color, temperament, hunting, herding, guarding, or companionship. Humans have also bred plants for traits such as higher yield, disease resistance, improved taste, faster growth, and enhanced nutritional value. The key difference is that, instead of environmental pressures determining which traits are advantageous, humans actively select the traits that best suit their needs and preferences. And just as humans have selectively bred animals and plants for desirable traits, nature selects organisms for advantageous traits that enhance survival and reproduction. After all, natural selection is driven by nature's primary purpose, the propagation of life. And as life propagates, advantageous traits continue to accumulate, enhancing a species' chances of survival and success. Over time, if enough traits accumulate, this may contribute to the emergence of a new species, provided the original species does not go extinct in the process. This marks the end of this presentation. In the next presentation, we will further explore Darwin's inferences and examine the diverse scientific evidence that supports the theory of evolution. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this journey through biology, don't forget to like and subscribe for more fascinating insights into the science of life.